Somebody call a doctor because bad medicine is back. That's Diamond Dave Damone. This is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. Folks, today we are taking a look at 2014's Whiplash. This has J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller, who seem to be in just about everything we're doing lately. This is a first-time watch for me. The only thing I know about it is I do remember the trailer of J.K. Simmons doing nothing but yelling and screaming, and I had no interest in seeing the movie whatsoever. So if not for all of you, there's zero chance I ever would have saw this, but I'm looking forward to it.
I really know nothing about the movie, so I saw a fun mashup using imagery from the animated cartoon Invincible. Obviously, Omni-Man, J.K. Simmons voices that, but his voice yelling and screaming at random people, which was obviously not from Invincible. Some people said it was from this movie. So I can understand that he seems like an angry individual or something in this movie. But I've never, honestly, don't seen it, don't recall trailers, nothing. So
yeah, I've never seen this. I've seen like one or two clips back in the day of, I think it was this film kind of going around. Have not seen it, don't know what it's about. Highly recommended from a lot of you in the comments, so it's finally here. I have high expectations, actually, because of how many people wanted us to watch this. So when that happens, I assume it's great. Let's hope you're all right. Let's go!
it's like I've seen the Tundra line at Lambeau. It's like this.
I'm doing it like this, Dave.
Like you guys know.
Anybody who's a musician, let
I
us
once
know.
played Sad But True on the
Why
drums.
this versus this?
That's a good question.
Well, see, now you got to keep it up.
I nailed it.
Looks like we're both right, Dave. He's got it
he's
in his
using-
left hand, and then in his other
Yeah.
hand, he's got it.
And he looks like he's really playing that too. So, folks, let me know if he just practiced for a few scenes or actually practiced and did everything in this film. Because that's pretty impressive.
That looks pretty legit to me.
That seems like it would be nearly impossible to sync up the audio, but to have that sort of motion on film.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, stay.
Oh, there he is.
What's your name?
Andrew Neiman, sir. I'm first year.
You know who I am?
Omni-Man.
So you know I'm looking for players.
Yes, sir.
Then why did you stop playing?
Yeah, he's doing both.
Yeah.
No, double time. Faster.
What, he just left?
See ya.
Oopsie daisy. Forgot my jacket.
What an introduction to that character.
Well, he's wearing a black T-shirt and a black suit jacket. That's the sure sign of a villain.
Giving us
Okay,
shots
so
of the town.
big city vibes. Hotel.
That had a very 70s feel to it, the way they did those cutscenes.
That was
And the
tempo
imagery.
editing right there.
ATM. I Heart New York. Okay, so we're in New York.
Okay, yeah.
Look at that building. Discount jewelry, cameras, and TVs.
No Swedish fish?
Not today. Thanks.
I'd also pass on the Swedish fish. Oh, little chemistry.
back.
Old look back.
None out of her, though.
No.
She was
Hey.
just there.
Pull
Oh, he's good. This guy.
Who does that? Are those milk duds or like Raisinets?
Does anyone else do that?
No, nobody does that.
Let us know.
You got plenty of options still. You get to be my age. You get perspective. I don't want perspective.
Perspective.
Sorry?
You think that was meant to happen, or you think that was the dude legit bumped him?
Yeah, it was meant to be.
Yeah, they're doing the greens here.
They just trying to show that he lives in like a sketchy area with deadbolt locks on the doors.
Yeah.
I always thought playing the saxophone would be cool.
Has Miles always had those scars on his neck and his face? Or is that?
Those look like cat scratches.
I never noticed that, like in Top Gun and stuff.
That was an interesting zoom.
That shot that they showed the ear.
How you, buddy?
You have a good weekend?
Yeah, real good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Don't worry about Greg. It's the dick.
Oh.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
All right.
All right.
1, 2, 3. Play off roll. Yeah.
He's listening.
Didn't embarrass yourself like what's his face.
Yeah, these colors are interesting. That like this is a warm yellow or gold.
It just feels like an older building, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the old yellow 70s looking
Lights.
paint.
The advanced class here.
Staring at him.
It's like he knew.
I wasn't.
The green desk lamps. They're in every movie.
It's a college thing, I think.
I really
it's
wasn't.
everywhere.
I really wasn't expecting J.K. to be
Yeah, just
teaching that class.
waiting for him.
Buddy Rich.
Billy Rich, the Birdman.
All right. 4 players. Let's go.
What have you been practicing?
So is that a compliment or
Aragorn.
he's no Aragorn, Diamond Dave? Come on now, He'd never be as cool as Aragorn.
That'll never get old. Just the old double door
Doors.
push. Oh, I gotta love it. I wish I had double doors.
Just for that.
Cute. Let's hear a little double time swing. Behind. Drums with me. Thank you, Joe. No, other drums.
Oh shit.
Ooh, ouch.
Room B16 tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Don't be late.
You got it. Or got
He
something.
wants to see what he has.
Oh, man, you could cut the tension with a knife.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks.
Good. Look, I don't really know how.
Oh, boy.
I see you in here a lot, and I think that you're really pretty. And would you want to go out with me ever?
Her face hasn't even
still there.
changed.
Oh.
Ever?
She looks like she's
so
kind of
sorry.
playing.
Oh,
wow.
That's so mean. How would you do that?
It's actually pretty mean.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
Where do you want to go?
Pizza.
I get off at 7 on Monday.
Okay.
It's like
Okay.
I've seen enough 80s rom-coms to know that he's going to miss that 7 o'clock. And look, he didn't get her number. No number. No cell. No way to get a hold of her.
Well, they did say meet here at 7.
He's going to forget about it. It's in every 80s rom-com.
oh 6:03.
Oh,
He's
shit.
Oh, shit. Is he late?
Yeah, dude, he's done for.
9 a.m.
9 a.m. You think he would be there 3 hours early to work with a student? He's just been sitting there for 3 hours. So maybe he was practicing.
Need your name?
Tune the set to B flat and you turn my pages during rehearsal.
Oh, no. Hi, I'm so-and-so. Please. Thank you.
Seems very straightforward.
I got to be honest. I didn't even know you could tune drums. Tune a guitar, tune a piano,
Tuna fish.
tune a fish.
You could pretty much tune any instrument for the most
do
part.
you
It's just a
tune
matter
it?
of. People in the comments will explain it better than I can.
Oh, he walks
Right.
in on the dot.
To the second.
No double doors there.
No.
So he's looking right at him. Why is everybody else?
Just
What a
total
awkward tension.
intimidation.
We got a squeaker today, people. Neiman, 19 years old. Isn't he cute? All right, gang. Whiplash.
JK looking a little jacked here. For
Yeah, I was
this
just going to
movie?
say, you looked.
in the weights.
That shot was really cool. The
Yeah.
went around his arm like that.
Hey.
Uh-oh.
No.
Parker, that is not your boyfriend's dick. Do not come early.
Wow.
Now, this one really upsets me. We have an out-of-tune player here. Would that player care to identify himself? Okay, maybe a bug flew in my ear. No? My ears are fine. We definitely have an out-of-tune player. Whoever it is, this is your last chance. And there it went. Now, either you are deliberately playing out of tune and sabotaging my band, or you don't know you're out of tune, which I'm afraid is even worse. Tell me it's not you, Elmer Fudd.
Jesus.
I mean, people are already in fear, and he's just throwing out insults left and right.
Do you think you're out of tune? There's no fucking Mars bar down there. What are you looking at?
Jesus. Mars. Reminds me of the drill sergeant from Full Metal Jacket.
Do you think you're out of tune?
Yes.
Then why the fuck didn't you say so?
Right in his grill.
Jackson, congratulations, you're fourth chair. Metz, why are you still sitting there? Get the fuck out!
Wow.
Shit.
Lost the spot in the
Yep.
band.
Got cut from the team.
But is it like a class?
I think you just get cut and you're out.
'Cause it seems like if it's a music school, you would have classes and maybe teams too. I don't know how it works. You'll have to help us out.
For the record, Metz wasn't out of tune. You were, Erickson. But he didn't know,
He's got that.
and that's bad enough.
Got that Kenny G hair going on there.
Yeah, but why wouldn't he chew his ass for
Yeah.
not speaking up?
When we get back, the squeaker's on.
I think he just wanted
Take 10. They literally just started, and there was no time lapse. So they play a little bit. We'll kick Mets out. Everybody regroup.
He must have just wanted Mets gone because he seemed to take pleasure in that.
That's the only thing I can think of. Because, yeah, why wouldn't he go after the guy that knew?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the way they shot it at first, the first guy with his head down is who I thought it was going to be.
Parents musicians?
No, my dad's a writer.
What about your mother? What does she do?
I don't know, she left when I was a baby.
Well, you just gotta listen to the greats then. Buddy Rich, Joe Jones.
Yeah, the old hand on the wall, that's kind of a creepy move, isn't it?
It's intimidation.
Listen, the key is to just relax. Don't worry about what the other guys are thinking. You're here for a reason. You believe that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Have fun.
Does anybody
Have
in
fun.
there look like they're having fun?
He's trying to set him up.
Have fun after what you just watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, literally just kicked somebody out within the first 2 minutes of class.
And he's still pissed at him for not showing up at 6 a.m., I bet, too.
Now, do you think he knows that he
Well,
didn't show
we
up?
don't know yet
Or
that he
did
was
he just
there.
tell him to be there 3 hours early to mess with him?
That's true.
Little under tempo, okay? Neiman, just do your best. 5, 6, and.
I'm trying to read the other drummer, and I'm not getting anything.
Little trouble there. Let's pick it up at 17. Not quite my tempo. Rushing. Here we go. 5, 6, 7.
Can't just throw a chair at a student.
threw a chair.
Or not.
Why do you suppose I just hurled a chair at your head, Neiman?
I don't know.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Start counting.
5, 6, 7.
In 4, damn it! Look at me!
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2,
Oh.
3, 1, 2, 3.
Oh,
No.
Was I rushing or was I dragging? What? Count again.
That's a song.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
Rushing or dragging?
Rushing.
So you do know the difference. If you deliberately sabotage my band, I will fuck you like a pig. What does that say?
Quarter note equals 215.
Count me at 215.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Jesus, what is that?
Eighth note.
Yes, what is that?
Dotted 16th note.
Were you rushing or were you dragging? Answer!
Russian.
Are you one of those single tier people? You must be upset. Are you upset?
No.
No, so you just don't give a shit about any of this?
I do give a shit about this.
Are you upset? Yes or fucking no? Yes.
I'm upset.
Say it so the whole band can hear you.
I'm upset.
Louder!
I'm upset.
So for the final fucking time, say it louder!
I'm upset.
Start practicing harder, Neiman.
Holy shit.
whoa.
it's going to be called the Andrew School of Music after he owns it because he sues this guy for assaulting him in class.
Nobody did anything either. No one even looked.
No.
Holy shit, that was intense.
Can't just. No. So we'll see where it goes here.
Oh, he's not answering Dad's phone calls.
Look at that. Going back to work. Well, okay, so
he's gonna go
clearly-
sleep in the music room or whatever you want to call it.
So
All right,
clearly,
so they
he's sleeping
showed
right
the
there.
clock. It's 4:08. Is it Monday? Is his date at 7?
Well, the ambition of this dude and the drive. Oh,
He's
wow.
Playing it till his hands bleed.
Dude, the drive on this kid. Oh, man. Dude, don't show it.
Damn.
Don't show it.
Hey, he didn't miss his date.
He's different. on the tape.
I was so worried about the date.
You know, every time I saw you at the theater, your eyes were glued to the floor.
My dad says that I have trouble making eye contact.
When I was growing up, my mom said I had a really big chin, and that's why guys wouldn't like me.
Why would a mom ever say that?
What about you? What do you do?
I go to Fordham.
But like, what do you want to study?
I don't really know.
So Fordham was just like a random,
I applied to a bunch of schools, and Fordham let me in. Why'd you pick Schaefer?
it's the best music school in the country.
Well, Fordham was Fordham.
She almost didn't like the way he was getting a little judgy there. Not judgy, but questioning.
I don't love it there, to be honest. It's just the people. I don't know if they like me very much.
I kind of feel the same way about people at Schaefer.
Oh, yeah? Kind of pisses me off when people pretend like they're not in college, you know? Maybe I'm literally the only one. I don't know.
I still go to the movies with my dad.
Nothing wrong
Connection.
with that.
Oh, yeah. Hey. There we go.
If you still have a dad around, go to the movies with your dad. Trust me, you'll thank me later.
Okay, here we go.
I'm surprised we didn't get, like, no next day or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, he looks nervous.
Wow. Last time I saw
Those
you,
scratches
you
look
were very
different.
tiny.
He's got different scratches on his face now.
I think those were always there, and the one on his neck.
Will you come play in my band?
Nope.
Listen up, suckers. Hurry the fuck up. Lincoln Center and its ilk use these competitions to decide who they're interested in and who they're not. I will stop being so polite. Get the f out of my sight before I demolish you.
I was gonna say, didn't they bring up Lincoln Center in Pitch Perfect?
I think so, yeah.
I think it was the Lincoln Center in Pitch Perfect.
I don't have any good vibes about this.
Schaefer Conservatory Studio Band.
Studio band. Sounds important.
Taking the bass for a walk.
Is that a term? Do you take a bass for a walk? Diamond Dave go to Schaefer? Did you go to Schaefer, Dave?
Maybe.
I don't think you can do that during competition, man.
You can't, but I'm just waiting. Uh-oh. Oh, you see that look?
Yeah.
Hold on to this for the second set.
All go good?
Oh, God. He said if he finds another one of those laying around.
At the end of the day, he wants a career as dumb as he is. He needs to look at the music.
Oh yeah, it's right here.
Why isn't it on you?
Oh, no.
Oh.
You're a dumb fuck! A dumb fuck!
Jesus fucking Christ, where have you been?
I gave Neiman the folder, and Neiman lost it.
The folder is your fucking responsibility, Tanner.
I can't go on stage. I don't know the charts by heart. I need the music. It's my memory. I need visual cues. I can't.
I can.
Well, he has been practicing the shit out of it.
Yeah.
And I hope you played a whole lot better than you did last month in rehearsal. On stage!
Dude, that guy had to take the folder. He was either, or JK did somehow, but
It had to have been JK because he said,
JK took it.
Yeah.
He took it.
yeah, he doesn't want to see it lying around.
He didn't want to see it lying around. He saw one lying around. He grabbed it.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm nervous.
Nah, Andrew's got this. He was practicing until his hands bled. Just
God, like I'm
staring
getting
a hole.
anxiety, like watching.
I know.
Okay, was that approval?
I think that was like, all right, he might got it.
Okay.
So you gotta throw something at him?
And in first place, Schaefer Conservatory.
No place like first place.
Hey, don't touch my folder, man.
I probably would have said the same thing.
Hands off.
Tanner, what are you doing? It's core only today. I don't have time for alternates.
Oh,
Whoa.
just got demoted.
Tanner, are you a f***ing statue? Let's go. Get off the stool.
So the one thing I've noticed is he's constantly
Learning,
any free time
practicing,
Yeah.
learning.
anything
Yep.
with drums.
What did the message say?
Call me when you're back, and I'll come over.
So how's it going with the studio band?
Good.
And his opinion means a lot to you, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So how's the drumming going, Andy?
Yeah, it's going really well. I'm the new core drummer.
Justin is heading up Model UN, soon to be Rhodes Scholar, and who knows what all else.
Oh, it's big competition.
Yep.
No, it's not an actual studio. It's just the name of the ensemble. But yeah, it's a big step forward in my career.
Oh, hey, are you going to tell him about your game this week, huh?
And blows it off.
Yep.
One little compliment, and then, hey,
Yeah.
football.
Well, they don't get it. They don't
they
understand music at all.
I think being the greatest musician of the 20th century is anybody's idea of success.
That's what this is all about? You think you're better than us?
Catch on quick, and Model UN.
Come play with us.
4 words you will never hear from the NFL.
Oh. What a dinner.
Rehearsal 9 p.m. sharp tonight. Neiman, stick around a minute.
Quarter note equals 330.
That is a double time swing. I recently stumbled across another kid in a practice room working on his double time swing. So I'm going to give him a shot.
Am I late?
Connolly, I've made Neiman a temporary core. I just want to make very sure this chart is in the best shape it can be.
No, he wants to keep the pressure on him.
All set? Not quite my tempo. Connolly?
I can do.
Nope. We'll go with Connolly now.
Especially after everything from the other night.
Perfect, Connolly. You walk in here an alternate, who knows when you could be the new core.
Oh my God! Are you serious? That shit.
Oh, he's not going to like that.
Wow.
Questioning him?
Good, call him out.
It's not the time, I swear to God.
I can play it. Okay.
If you want the f***ing part, earn it.
Looks like he's got something else going on.
Yeah.
That phone call.
Dude, so is he going to make his hands bleed again in practicing?
Well, he's got to come back at 9 o'clock.
He's got to come back at 9, yeah.
This is why I don't think that we should be together.
Dude.
And I've thought about it a lot, and this is what's going to happen. Okay, I'm going to keep pursuing what I'm pursuing, and even when I do spend time with you, I'm going to be thinking about drumming because I want to be great.
Yeah, you want to be the best. That's what it takes, man.
And I would stop you from doing that.
Yeah.
And I'd barely see you anyway.
It's not her. It's that you can't have anything else.
You're right, we should not be dating.
Holy shit. What an uncomfortable conversation.
How not to act 101.
Dude, but his drive. I mean, the dinner table, that conversation at the dinner table set the platform for us and how great he wants to be.
Yep.
Basically doesn't give a shit about anything.
There is
or
nothing
friends.
else in his life. It's just this.
Sorry, we have a new player. Ryan Connolly.
Seems like his head's not in the game.
No.
Yeah.
Guys, just put your instruments down for a minute.
I'm thinking it's another game we're going to play here with Fletcher
I
here.
think something bigger is happening.
Just listen for a minute. 6 years ago, came across a kid in a practice room working on his scales. He'd started at Schaefer with a lot of hope. He barely squeaked in to begin with, and I saw a drive in him, and I put him in studio band. A year later, he was first, and that's who you're listening to now. His name was Sean Casey.
Was?
Yeah. That's the phone call he got.
Sean died yesterday in a car accident. I wanted you guys to know he was a beautiful player. I just thought you should know.
Honestly, never thought we'd see him. get
No, not
emotional.
with that side, no.
Oh, he's very passionate about his music. Very passionate about his music. Oh, the other drummer's
Now's the
still
time
in there
for
too.
Neiman to earn the part.
Well, the way
Nope, I guess not. Tanner?
All right, Tanner's back in.
We will stay here for as long as it takes until one of you faggots can play in time. Keep tempo!
you telling me that Andrew's not crushing this?
Is that really the fastest you can play, you worthless Jaime?
These guys are wrecked.
You know, you actually do look quite a bit like a leprechaun.
Jesus.
How is this
Doesn't even-
effective? Like, how is this effective?
Get up! Don't slow down.
I guess
What
we all
the-
need a little more cowbell in our lives, don't we?
Oh,
Can't
just
even
blood
drum.
all over.
He's actually impressed
He
right now.
is.
That
Yeah.
Neiman, you earned the part. Alternates, you want to clean the blood off my drum set?
Jeez.
5 p.m. call tomorrow in Denellen. Yourselves at least 2 hours to get there from the city this time, all right?
flat tire.
Oh, he's gonna be late. You gotta be shitting me.
Oh my
Just
god.
gonna rent a car.
Here, max out my credit card, basically.
Yeah.
Oh no. What
He
did you
left
forget?
it. He left something.
I know. I'm almost there. Mom. Hey, certainly.
Well, Connolly's playing the part.
Yeah, like f***ing hell, he's playing my part.
What the did you just say to me? Usually it's somebody that has sticks.
I left him in the car. I'll be right back. Hey,
Why don't you just back off?
off, Johnny Utah? Turn my page.
Johnny Utah.
At 5:30, that's in exactly 11 minutes. If your ass is not on that stool with your own f***ing sticks in hand, I will drum your ass back to Nassau where you can turn pages until you graduate.
Dude, oh my god.
Is he actually gonna make it?
No, he's not.
There's
It took
no
him like
way.
15 minutes.
Oh! Just like the story about the trumpet player.
He's still gonna try to make it, isn't he? Holy shit. He's trying.
He was like, what did they say, 200 feet away?
Oh my god.
His hand is.
He can't go on stage looking like that anyway.
He can't play.
Look at his hand.
He can't grip. Oh, dude, I can't watch that.
Oh. He's still doing it. I mean, I don't know shit about music, but it sounds good to me.
Sounds good to me.
Oh.
No.
Oh, he has to stop right in the middle of a competition.
Neiman, you're done.
Not a, hey, let's get you to the hospital. Nothing compassionate.
Oh!
On stage!
Damn, I thought JK was going to be the one we had to worry about.
Does the name Sean Casey mean anything to you? Last month he hanged himself in his apartment.
Oh, it wasn't a car accident.
His mother claims this started during his time as Fletcher's student. Now, Caseys aren't wealthy. They don't want to file suit.
What do they want?
To make sure that Terence Fletcher is never allowed to do this to another student.
What a... Holy shit.
Dismissal.
Did he ever intentionally inflict emotional distress?
Yeah. Several times.
Fletcher would never know it was you who spoke up.
Why would you do this to me?
Don't you know I would never let that happen?
Just tell me what to say.
Whoa.
Carnegie Hall. I don't know much about music, but that sounds big. Oh, bro.
Wait, was he calling her? What, about to?
I don't know if
think
he
he
was
was-
about to message her or if she messaged him.
Oh, he's looking like he hasn't slept at all. Oh.
No way.
What instrument does Terrence play?
Piano.
So you think they're suggesting that Fletcher got kicked out of school and
Oh,
now
totally.
100%.
Yep.
he's doing jazz gigs at
Yeah.
small clubs?
In a weird way, it's almost like they both lost what they love, right?
Yep. Where did it get either one of them?
Jesus, I can't believe we're actually seeing him enjoy something. And there it is.
Andrew. I don't know if you heard, I'm not at Schaefer anymore.
Yeah, I did hear that. Did you quit?
Some parents got a kid from Sean Casey's here, I think, to say some things about me. I get it. I know I made enemies.
That's the kind way to put it.
Truth is, I don't think people understood what it was I was doing at Schaefer. I was there to push people beyond what's expected of them. Parker's a young kid, pretty good on the sax, and he fucks it up. And Jones nearly decapitates him for it. Cries himself to sleep that night. But the next morning, what does he do? He practices, never to be laughed at again. And he steps up on that stage and he plays the best motherfucking solo the world has ever heard.
Listen, I have no idea how you're going to take this, but the band I'm leading for JVC, my drummer is not cutting it.
Oh,
You understand what I'm saying?
What about Ryan Conley?
All Connolly ever was to me was incentive for you.
Yeah.
Tanner?
Tanner switched to pre-med. Take the weekend and think about it.
He's in. Especially
Well,
after that talk they just had. He's so in.
Yeah, well, and like, it depends. Yeah, I mean, did he lose his drive for it or did he not? Guess we'll find out. He's going to practice all weekend.
Dude, I love that little clamp of it going on the snare.
Hey, Nicole, it's Andrew. Been a while.
Can we get my guy a good t-shirt here?
I'm really sorry about everything. I actually have this show this weekend. We, maybe get some like pizza afterwards.
No way she does this.
I was going to check with my boyfriend.
Okay, well, I guess maybe I'll see you guys there.
Oh,
wow.
Should have just been like, oh, you have a boyfriend. Well, I'll talk to you later.
I mean, the, I guess, courage it takes to do that call after what happened.
Yeah.
Well, now what does he have? Back to his drums.
Back to the music.
Is he dressing like him?
Pre-taping his hands.
Black on black?
It's the look he's going for, I guess.
I mean, if you're playing in a band, they might have a...
Yeah, everybody wears the same.
They might have a dress code.
We're getting paid, right?
You guys are getting paid?
Hey, there's his pops.
Yeah, well, guess what? His dad probably... What, do you think he told his dad who's in the band?
Oh, that's a good question. Probably not.
Now, for those of you who are new at this, which looks like it might be everybody except Cal, tonight could change your life. You could be a Blue Note signee, a Lincoln Center core.
There's so few spots.
The other thing about these cats is they never forget. All right, let's have fun.
Wow,
think-
significantly different tone.
Yeah, but do you think Fletcher never forgets either? He's got to know it was Andrew that ratted on him, right?
Do you think he's going to do the old, oh, you guys haven't seen Godfather, have you?
Mm-mm.
Never mind. Anybody who's seen Godfather knows what scene I'm talking about.
The way this movie has gone and the build-up for everything, I just worry that...
I'm worried that... I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm just worried.
I'm worried that the dad's going to see who he's playing for and, like, lose it. There's no way he told his dad who he's playing for.
There's no way. Oh, he's getting nervous. The anxiety is coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
You think I'm fucking stupid?
Yep.
What?
I know it was you.
I mean, it's pretty obvious he would know.
He's not. Those are not the songs he's playing. He wants to ruin his career.
Yeah, because he said they never forget.
First, we're going to start out with a new tune by Tim Simonek called Upswinging.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. He's going to sabotage everything just to make him look bad.
Oh, man.
Is he just improvising?
Yeah.
He's just letting them
He's
screw
letting
it
him
up.
drown, dude.
Yep.
Just letting him drown.
Just sabotaged his whole career.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just took everything from him.
Yeah, I guess maybe you don't have it.
That whole conversation, too.
Yep. It's all set up.
At least his dad's there for him, man.
Yeah. No, he wants to go back and prove it.
I'm guessing most of you folks have heard of it.
Going right into a solo!
He's not even going to let him call it out.
There you go.
And then the rest of the band will jump in.
I'll cue you in. Caravan.
Oh, man. What a wild swing of emotions in this last, 10 minutes.
Now, you motherfucker.
He popped him with the symbol.
Yeah. Just dude, this is awesome. I mean, what is Fletcher really going to do?
Yeah.
Is he coming around? I don't know what's going to happen.
I don't know which way it's going to go.
In a weird way, too, as much as he's saying F you, he's also trying to get that approval.
Yeah, it's everything they talked about at that table is essentially happening.
Oh, God, I don't know what's going on. Like, who's playing who?
It's like, is Fletcher playing like 3D chess with them, you know? Is everything a work?
Well, remember, he said he was trying to push them
to that
beyond
level.
their limits.
And to see if they quit.
Was he expect...
It's basically what
crazy.
this is.
So now I don't know if this concert was a big FU or if this was the next test.
Like if he knew he had the guy.
Okay, so now he's smiling. Okay, I can't tell what's going on. Is he really into it or is he messing around? Oh, I love the way they're shooting this. So, did Miles Teller learn to do this?
I have to assume so.
Still playing him off.
Right there, Fletcher.
Andrew, what are you doing, man? I'll cue you.
I'll cue you.
What are you doing, man? Didn't sound as harsh.
No,
did it?
he was just more confused.
Holy shit, is Andrew just like, let's give a show at this point and putting everything aside?
I think he's just ripping off his best stuff to see what he can do.
It's weird.
Oh, that's the speed.
Yep.
Blood again.
These camera shots are incredible. Now his dad finally gets it.
Oh, I love the shot of Dad watching him work.
Oh, no.
The symbol. Oh,
Hey,
he
he
saved
helped
it.
It's all circling back to that 1 year later performance.
Yep.
Charlie. Wow.
Crowd goes insane, right? Look at us. What? Look at the bassist.
He's just standing there. Is he going to cue in the rest of the band?
Oh, did you see the blood?
There it is.
That's it. That's the finish. That's the finish.
Come on. Hey, fucking bravo.
Wow.
Fucking bravo. Fuck yeah.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Unbelievable. Wow.
Dude,
What a simple movie that was just incredible. It's a simple concept. Dude wants to be the best. Make a movie.
And at the end of the day right there, they both faulted to giving the best performance.
Yeah.
Holy shit. What a
way to come back to it. The whole time you didn't know if JK was just out to screw him over or
He was.
If he was I
don't know.
I think he was
Was he?
actually testing him.
right there. Yeah, he said it at first, I don't know. Man,
That's what I'm saying. But again, he went back to everything about pushing right to the very edge.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I think it's just subjective.
It probably is, and that's probably the genius of the writing of this.
Yeah.
He didn't have his. What was the? Are we gonna do like a?
No, let's keep
We'll let
going,
this roll
man.
for a minute here. But
Remember how he said he didn't have his Charlie?
He
what
didn't
was it?
have his-
He didn't have his guy.
Yep.
What he got to lose at that point?
Yeah, and that was the guy.
Unreal,
Yeah, I think
man.
it's totally subjective if you think that Fletcher was just pushing to see if he was the guy. Because that last thing when he said, maybe you don't have it. That was like the big test of him being like, oh, guess you're not the guy.
That's what I find funny, because at first he was there to fuck him.
Yeah.
Because I know it was you. And he wanted to bury his career.
Yeah, that's why he fucked him with the music.
And then I think he knew that he was going to falter. and then walk off and then know that his career was buried. I don't think he expected him to come back.
I don't know.
I think
I
he
don't
thought
know.
he would have came back if he knew he had the talent that he had and the drive he had. I think Fletcher maybe expected him to come back after the setup. Like, all right, I'm going to totally bury you. Let's see if you got what it takes to come back from this.
But to rebuttal you on that, when he came back out and got on the drum set, J.K. Fletcher was just like,
yeah, what are you doing?
Yeah. Like, what are you doing back
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's subjective,
this
man.
is one of the most, I think, open to interpretive. Now I have to watch like 50 YouTube videos on other people's point of view.
For a movie that I
know.
had like zero interest in ever watching, like ever. If not for this channel, I never would have watched this in a million years.
I would have never watched.
Because like I said, I thought it was just JK screaming at some kid the whole movie, and then maybe he'll turn out to be great or whatever. But, you know, if you guys watch the Ant-Man reaction, you know how I feel about people screaming at me.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing. It's just the end of credits here, but dude, what a film! Now I get why people were telling us to like.
Wow!
Yeah, because
Wow!
It's a movie that's definitely made, custom made for reactors to watch.
Wow!
And give their info on. So many different.
I guess I'll start.
Rip it off.
You want to start?
Go.
No, go ahead, because we were kind of chatting.
This is just. I mean, this movie was incredible, but I don't know. Like, I feel like I need to watch other people's interpretations of this, but I'm going to give my own. I really think everything Fletcher did was to push Andrew to be his best. At the end, I thought it was, and I don't know if it'll make the cut. I think it'll make the cut because it was a pretty monumental moment. But I initially thought at the end he was setting him up to ruin his career.
Yeah, that's what it looked like.
I am gonna ruin your career. You ruined my career.
Yep.
And I'm gonna ruin yours or any chance that you have. Now that being said, Andrew wasn't doing anything, right? Like he wasn't. He got kicked out of school.
Yep.
So it's like it's like this. I kick you out of school, which whether that's going to ruin your career or not is yet to be known in the future. But it's pretty major, and you got me booted, you know.
Yep.
But then the one thing that we saw when he was playing, you know, he loved, you know, Fletcher loved jazz music. He was playing in a club. He was on a piano. He genuinely looked like he was happy. He had work outside of outside of the Schaefer Institute, so he was still working in what he loved, obviously in a very different capacity. But I don't know. Like I said, I really feel like Fletcher was pushing him the whole time, because even when they were sitting down and having that dinner, he said, "I don't feel like I've ever had my," and I forget the name.
Yeah.
And
Charlie
Parker.
Yeah, Charlie Parker. There it is. I don't feel like I've ever had my Charlie. And obviously he saw a lot of talent in him. He kind of reiterized that.
From the first
and I
scene.
think that was it. I'm gonna put you in the most embarrassing situation and see how you recover from it.
This is the
What
last
do you
shot.
do? This is it. This is my last opportunity. I'm either going to make you or I'm going to break you. And, you know, you think I didn't know it was you. And so he's like, okay, I'm going to test you. Here it is. Here's your test. And then he came back out and it was like, all right, if you're going to come back out, you better do something big. I just don't like, this movie was so brilliant. I don't feel like, this is just a gut feeling, right? Like it's so weird, like getting this invested in a movie about music, but it's not really about music, is it? It's about like pushing people
Achieving greatness.
to be their absolute best. And I really feel like Fletcher was pushing him to be his best. I don't think it was a vengeance thing. I don't think somebody goes that hard for strict vengeance. And in an era where, you know, I love that he said, you know, I forget how he phrased it, but essentially the words that good job makes you complacent. Yeah. Would the Charlie, had he just said good job, would he have gone on to be the best? And look, I'm not saying that the manner that he taught his class was necessarily the best, but I think that we could all agree to some extent that society as a whole is a little bit softer. I think in a lot of ways we've found out that sometimes that sort of, teaching methods don't work for some people, and they do work for others. I know this is a stretch going to football, but I was most motivated by my football coach who got on my butt the most. That's what drove me. And I know it was just high school football. It wasn't becoming the best musician in the world. That's what drove me. The coach was like, good job. You did it. Like, that didn't drive me as much as the guy who was, and granted your mindset in football is a little different, but that's what drove me. When I was competing in bodybuilding, my friends it was one friend I have, my friend Andy, he always challenged me. He's like, don't listen to the people who are telling you how good you are. Just block that shit out. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna drive you. And that's what resonated with me. And maybe that's what he thought he had to do. But this movie was so unexpected. I think it was absolutely brilliant. I think Miles Teller was great. I think J.K. Simmons was great. I think everybody in this movie, absolutely nailed it. It obviously touched on a very serious subject of depression and suicide and anxiety. And some people don't respond to that sort of mentoring or coaching. Mm-hmm. And I very much realize that some people do not respond to that. And that's not to say that person couldn't have been very talented. And I guess that's where this movie becomes so controversial, and maybe not from a film standpoint, but from a mindset standpoint, is did he take somebody who could have been very talented? And I'm so glad that Andrew brought that up in their finals discussion. Or did you discourage the next person? Because you might have somebody who's really talented, but has a coach or a mentor that discourages them and they just throw their hands in the air and quit. Mm-hmm. When I was in high school, and I keep going back to this because it's relatable. When I was in high school, we had a kid who was a very good wrestler who just his senior year was quit. His dad pushed him too hard. And you see that in sports, right? Especially with dads. And if you ever wrestled before, wrestling families can be pretty
with hockey.
They can be pretty intense. And dad pushed him too hard. And I ran into a friend of mine from high school who was an Olympic wrestler from Freedom, Wisconsin. His name was Garrett Lowney, and we were talking about him coaching his kids. He's got 2 boys. I'm like, how is it like the kids know their dad literally has a bronze medal from the 2000 Olympics? It's like, there's a sensitive point. You push a kid too hard. Some say they're done with it. And I just can't. Shout out to everybody who recommended this movie. I would have never watched this, okay? And even halfway through, I'm like, okay, where are we going with this? Where are we going with this movie? This turned out to be so amazing. I'm blown away, guys. I am blown away.
Yeah, I mean, I think the thing that it really touches on, and I'm glad that it was brought up, is, good can be the enemy of great. Because good will let you be complacent and will let you be fine where you're at. It's the people who push themselves. And I agree with you, Oak. This could have been, the fact that it was jazz music, that was just the conduit to tell the story. It could have been any sports movie, but I like that it was jazz because, I mean, there's people who know jazz and then there's people who don't, right? And for us, me at least, knowing nothing about the music, to come into it and be able to get hooked on it, and it's something totally different that I don't have any concept of. I can't match anything up. It's all fresh and new, so I'm being hit with all this and I'm trying to figure out which way it's going. That was the brilliance of it, because I think it's a lot easier for people to analogize with sports and things like that versus a talent like jazz that's obviously a much more slimmer group of the population who knows about or takes part in or whatever. So I really liked that. Incredibly simple script. 2 people's obsession to be the best, or one man's obsession to find somebody who's the best, and another person who wants to do it. And look, you see this with, it can be sports athletes, it can be actors, obviously musicians, stand-up comedians. If you want to be the absolute best, or if you want to get to that level in your field, whatever it is. And I think we talked about this before with some other movies. There is nothing else in your life. Your relationships will suffer, your families will suffer, your other interests and hobbies will suffer to try to achieve that absolute pinnacle of greatness in one field. And that's the sacrifice that it takes, quite simply put. And I liked how they showed that when Miles, or Andrew, had that conversation with Nicole in the restaurant. That's a very legitimate conversation that you will see whether it's, high end, high level CEOs of companies or athletes, actors, comedians, musicians, whatever it might be. That's a conversation they all have. Like, look, if you want to be with me, you got to share me with all the people out there because I'm owed to them just as much as I am to you. And this is what it takes to operate at this level. And I just thought that was brilliant. He talked about how they would resent each other for it. He would feel like she's trying to take him away from the drums and that's all he cares about. And he saw the whole thing all laid out in his head. And that was just a really good scene that I didn't want to leave out. And I'm with you guys. I don't know for 100% if JK if Fletcher had all this planned, that he was pushing Andrew the whole time, or did he truly think he was done when he was playing in the jazz club? He thought that was it. He thought he was done, didn't think he had his guy, and it was up to Andrew to come back turning around the way he did. Because when he just started playing the drums, before he could even announce what the next set was, that's when he took over, and he was like, what are you doing? So that leads me to believe that I think Fletcher maybe thought it was over, and Andrew had to change his mind in that moment. So that was really brilliant. I mean, I don't want to go on much longer. I want Dave to get his points in, but we could talk about this one for a long time. There's so many messages about obsession and what it takes to be great. How do you get pushed? How do people respond? Just brilliant.
So I want to start off. Macy Quinn and I have done pro wrestling, or did pro wrestling for 12 plus years. Quinn probably a little bit longer, but give or take, that's why I'm saying the 12 plus. There is a trainer, and he knows who I'm talking about, that we've had that has similarities to Fletcher here. And I'm not going to say names, and that's why I'm saying similarities, because obviously some of the stuff that Fletcher did, he did not do. So I don't want to come off like it was 100%
right.
What we saw here on screen. Similarities. For example, if you didn't do a hip toss, drop down, tackle, do it again. You fucked up. Do it again. That was shit. You did a two-step. You're not supposed to run the ropes 3 times. Do it again. Why are you just tapping him with your shoulder? Run through him. Do it again. That kind of brought up memories for me there. And the reason why, and no way am I trying to relate pro wrestling to jazz here, because obviously 2 different worlds, but the teachings, that hardcore shit does get imprinted into you, because when you go to perform, oddly enough, that shit sticks in you. So now, I will say, does the nagging and the yelling and screaming, does that always have to happen? No, not at all. So I'm not, condoning that's what needs to happen to make it perfect. There are ways for you to get to someone like Andrew was saying there. What if you just
when he pushed him away?
What if you push the next Charlie away? Mm-hmm. That does happen, right? So there are ways to effectively do it opposite of Fletcher, which I'm sure a lot of you, if not all of you, have done that. I'm sure we've been in situations too where we've excelled where it wasn't like that as well. Probably in some cases, like I was just saying with wrestling, where there were some cases where it did. So it was actually cool to kind of get some of those memories kind of flooded back in. Because even during a match, a live match in front of 1,000 people, he would, because kayfabe, right? You don't want to let out too many secrets, but in today's world, pretty much 98% of the secrets are out. He would still stand there. Oh, Jesus, here we go again. Do the fucking spot over and do it fucking right.
Right out there.
Right out there. So it's insane, and I'm not exaggerating at all, folks. I'm not. Trust me. Any one of the boys or girls who were with us during that time, or maybe even now, know exactly what I'm talking about.
But to piggyback off that just real quick, the people who did make it to the WWE level, they were involved with that individual. So is there a connection?
You know, what I find really interesting is the music, I think, is very unique. Like, and this is interesting because it is relatable, and I think a lot of people who have done some sort of whatever might find it relatable. When I was in bodybuilding, for example, really you can train for 2 hours and you can practice your posing and stuff, but there's a point where there's diminishing returns. So realistically, an hour and a half in the gym, like if you're working hard, that's it. And too much cardio isn't good for you, so that's it. Physically, your body can only do so much in a day, and where it's like there's not benefits. Like, look, if as a bodybuilder, if working out 5 hours a day would benefit me, then that's what I would have done, but it wasn't in that case. Now with practicing music, however, I'm sure there's a point where your CNS, you get burnt out. But with the drums and the timing and stuff, obviously they showed his hands bleeding because they wanted to show that there's a very physical component to it. And I'm sure it's very tiring, but with certain things that aren't overly physically exerting, where it's just practicing, like how much could you practice in a day realistically? And I think something like this takes more practice and more dedication because it's not just going through the motions. It's also a massive time component. At my very most intense time in bodybuilding, 4 hours a day is probably the absolute most. I did an hour of cardio in the morning, an hour at night, and a 2-hour session. There wasn't any more that I was never going to get more than 4 hours a day out of it. Now, granted, I could have slept more, food prep and stuff, but with this music, it's like, okay, and I don't know music, so I'm wondering, like, if I'm going to practice 2 hours a day, is 4 better? If you're practicing 4 hours a day, is 6 better? And I think that's very interesting from the relationship standpoint, because it's like, I think back, and I'm sure you guys probably look back, like, you try to find a balance. You're that age. Relationships are important. Being the best is, yeah, even the best in the world have some relationships, but with something like music, where can I practice more? And when I'm not physically practicing, can I be listening more, like we saw him doing? Can I be listening? Can I be studying? So I don't know music well enough or at all to comment on how many hours a day could you realistically practice with music. And I know some people. I had a friend who taught himself guitar, then he taught himself piano, and he learned like once he learned an instrument good, he wanted to learn to play a different instrument. So it was like he would practice his guitar, then he would practice his piano, and he learned to play the saxophone. I mean, it was just, so music to me is really interesting because we don't think of it as like a super physical, like a bodybuilding or a wrestling or, you know, watching Rudy, for example. But from a time and an energy component, I feel like as much time as you had in a day to put into music, you could.
Yeah, I know a couple of people who, different intensity levels for sure. But yeah, you could, depending on your drive, which I'll get into some of that, depending on your drive and your willingness to push, you could easily get away with, and folks, I'm not speaking for any of you, but let us know in the comments too, but there were some guys that I knew that did like 10, 12 hours easy.
With music, right, yeah.
But now like some guitar players I know, or bass players, man, their fingers though, when they were first learning, were just trash. And I'm sure even, not even going that long, even just an hour, you know, it's pretty tough in the entry stages of all that.
Yeah,
so
he tried to teach me to play guitar, and I was just like,
these fingers.
What? Yeah, I have so much respect for that. And
yeah, it's just crazy with some of that stuff. With real quick though, with some of the things I've noticed in here was the resilience, power of ambition. Andrew's clear desire for greatness, because he mentioned that several times, and they showed us pretty well he was willing to do the dude got smoked by a car and went in to still play the drums. I mean, that was nuts. You know, JK, clearly, you know, let's take all the assholeness out of it. He was not settling for anything, a tidge bit of media core at all.
No.
Like, it was either great
or nothing.
Yep. And then, you know, Andrew's response, the way he was playing on Andrew's responses to pressure, which he admitted to, right, with what's Redhead's kid's name?
Ryan Connolly,
right? Ryan Connolly. So he admitted it to Andrew about Connolly. You know, Andrew's obsession for the drums, he had a love for it, which they showed him as a kid and his father rooting him on. That obsession to be great took over, and then it just immediate stop. But he never totally said goodbye to it, right? Because he just stuffed it away. He tried to kind of like move on from
if he would have got rid of it, he would have like burned it or something.
Yeah, and then, you know, just the reasons, you know, this whole film, I am just still puzzled. I'm not puzzled. I still do believe that Fletcher was there to kill his career.
Bury him.
And then he expected him to just crush down, was waiting to see if he would respond immediately, which he didn't. He took a moment and then came back. And then that's when I think Fletcher was like, you know, that confused look of like, man, I thought I just won this.
Yeah.
I thought I just crushed it.
And then it started.
The cueing to the bass player
Yep.
did his thing, right? And then the actual concern of like, what the hell are you doing? Like,
Yeah.
what are you doing here? And then he's like, I'll cue you. And then like both of them had the switch flip. It's about the music. It's about the performance. Let's go. I can't believe that's how that turned out to be
Yeah.
like that. And then just after the performance, fade to black. Not even, it was cut to black. And it was like, we didn't get any aftermath. It's
No.
all leaving to our imagination.
But I
So
like that
brilliant.
ending though. I really did like
that
that
ending. Was
The
that
other
ending
thing-
was so phenomenal.
Yeah, the other thing I think it shows is that a lot of time, I think it shows what people who, and we talked about this a little bit before, I can't remember what movie it was, but whether it's people who function at like a super high IQ level or people who are just obsessed with chasing some level of greatness in a certain field, what they kind of go through, because people on the outside don't understand it. The majority of people don't understand what they're trying to achieve at that incredibly high level. And I just thought it was great how they showed that. It was all Andrew was obsessed with. His dad was like, you can figure something else out if this doesn't work out. And he didn't understand that Andrew didn't have a backup plan. And that's why he was going to make it. He was just walking around eating pizza, calling up his old girlfriend. He didn't have a plan. There was nothing else other than drums. And that's another trait you see in people who make it in some field. There is no plan B. Plan B is to make plan A work. I don't remember where I heard that, but that's their only singular goal.
Well, it's interesting because I think a lot of people probably don't have any experiences like that in their life. If you're raised with, relatively like, look, my dad was the polar opposite as far as like my dad was very much a positive reinforcement type guy. My stepdad was not Fletcher, but he was, do shit right, get it right the first time. But I had some coaches and some bosses. And look, and I've worked in corporate environments where when somebody's trying to motivate you, everything has to be very vanilla, very corporate, very by the book. And then I've worked for bosses where it's a smaller organization and there isn't necessarily a formal HR department, and it's F this, do that, and it's tough. And then when it comes time to perform and it comes time to deliver and you do it, you get to celebrate for 48 hours or whatever, and then it's back to its go. So I've worked for people in a couple different fields that are similar to Fletcher, even in the language, okay? And I've worked in corporate situations where it couldn't be more opposite. And I think some people have never, like I said, if you had softer parents, and I'm not saying that's bad. Like I said, my dad was all positive reinforcement, and I think he was a wonderful person. And you went to college and had normal professors and then got into a corporate career, you might never experience that in a coaching situation and an employment situation. And this might seem crazy to you, but for those of us who have lived it to some extent, look, I don't think I've ever had a coach or a boss try to, potentially ruin my entire career, but I still don't think that's what's happening here. And part of me, I know this is a long review, but this is a really dynamic movie. It was interesting after the car accident, he was still going to, or even after he showed up late. Now the car accident, he just kind of walked on stage. He was covered in blood. He didn't make him leave. He didn't say, hey, you know what, we'll leave.
There was no compassion whatsoever.
No, there was none, but he didn't make him leave. Even when he showed up late and there was that exchange, which was very heated.
Yeah.
He still told him, all right, you be back with your sticks. Otherwise you're done. So it's like, he was pushing him, but yet he was also providing him with opportunity.
And that's
the difference. Clue. He was pushing him, but providing him with opportunity. And that's where, like, look, I every once in a while we do.
Well, just real quick, Oak, that scene, I don't want to forget that scene where Andrew was calling him out saying, you're not going to bench me. I'm the best you got and you know it. He called him out right there, and Fletcher backed down. He's like, all right, be back with your sticks. That was when I knew that he had them.
Right. And here's a movie reaction review wrap up where I don't necessarily think there's a right or wrong. And I think in the comments, people are going to say, no, you're right. No, you're wrong on this. And I think even people can read other people's reviews and reactions and are still going to have their own feelings. I know when we're done with this, I want to watch other people's reactions, and I'm interested in seeing reviews. I'd love to watch some interviews with J.K. Simmons and Miles Teller on shooting this movie, because that had to be intense. So this was such an unexpected, trippy in the coolest way.
Well,
movie.
and I know we were using sports, and I'm gonna shut up after this. I knew we were using sports, but like, dude, think about it. Like, this is so relatable in sports, music. Clearly, you could relate this to studies in college, studies in high school, any kind of academic, art,
even your job.
Like, this was so relatable in almost every, if not every aspect of where you're at and what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, because I know, like, when I was getting hired for jobs out of school, it was, we got a real steep learning curve here, kid. It's sink or swim. I don't got time to teach you. You know, it's you're gonna put your feet right into the fire.
We've seen movies with dance. I mean, things that there's so many different things.
So many different things.
But yeah, it was just cool to see it be portrayed in a medium that not a lot of people are either fans of or are knowledgeable of that, and that's what made it cool. So I'm pretty sure we've all got the same feeling on this one, folks. I'm going to make it short and sweet. 5 out of 5 answers for me on this one. A genuine surprise. I never would have watched. Thank all of you so much for recommending this. I never would have watched. I thought it was just kind of some nonsense, JK yelling for an hour and a half, but wow, I couldn't have been more wrong. I'm so happy to say that I was wrong about this one.
5. Just wow. And the way they
Get out of here with that.
The way they ended it. I mean, what a I was so hyped at the end because all of a sudden he's building it up and he's encouraging him.
Yep.
And he's finally like peeling away so many layers, and that finally, this is what I've been pushing for, and that's why I'm set on. And it could be both, right? It could be both. It could be he was trying to screw him, and then he was finally proud. But I was getting that this is what I've been pushing you for. This moment right here, this is it. That ending alone, 5.
Yeah.
Look, guys,
4. That's still pretty high. For Dave, that's pretty high.
4.8. Can we see it this way? Okay. 4.8. Look, the reason why I'm not giving it a 5 is because I don't know if, again, rewatchability is high on my chart.
Very high for this one.
Would I walk around in the house and just throw it on and kind of watch it? Like, call me simple here, but Dark Knight is my always go-to. The Walking Dead, Breaking Bad, stuff like that is constantly on a repeat. So would this go in the repeat reel for me? No, but this was a goddamn good movie. 4.8. I will say I need to rewatch this again. Maybe it does go to a 5. I feel like I need another rewatch now, knowing what I know, to go back and catch maybe what I didn't catch. And I also want to get a different perspective when I read your comments of whatever you're going to give us, because sometimes all the time, getting different perspectives does help change the way I feel, or I don't know about you guys, but sometimes it's like, that makes a lot of sense. Now my mind's kind of changing on that. So
Is this
4.8.
Is this not a movie you would want somebody else to watch though? Like 1,000%.
Oh yeah, I'm highly recommending it, no doubt. Yeah.
See that again, that plays into me making it a 5, because even if I don't want to watch it again because I would know the finish, but given the performances were so incredible, I think this is one you'd want people to watch. And I think maybe they're just like me. Well, I don't watch J.K. Simmons yell for an hour and a half about.
But I think
the
it's
drums.
also if they've had I've had a relatable-ish experience. You guys have had relatable-ish experiences, obviously different than music. And I'm wondering if people who have never had somebody like this pushing them for something just relate to it on a different level. I'm sure people are going to be all over it in the comments. So.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, that was a long one, but totally worth it. So this was an absolute gem of a movie. So for Diamond Dave Damone, that is the Appleton Oak. I'm Mason Quinn. That was Whiplash. Thank you all so very much. We'll catch you on the next one.